with professional sport comes so many lows as well as highs. That level is so different. Playing with Australian players and like Helen Housby, incredible netballers, obviously put a lot of pressure on myself to perform, knowing I only had the 1 year contract being a rookie. Every day I was like, oh my God, is this actually happening? It took me a little bit to be like, I deserve to kind of be here as well. A few things happened in our club that season. Unfortunately, I ended up having to, lose my spot. It gives me chills still to this day. Very hard for me when it's a dream that you've had for your whole life to be like, what do I do now?
Welcome back to the We Are Sage podcast, space for real conversations, practical advice, and that sense of empowerment you've been searching for. Now, today's episode is extra special for me. Not only is our guest an incredible athlete, but she's also a very, very close friend of mine who I'm constantly in awe of, Lili Gorman-Brown. From running out for the New South Wales Swifts to now stepping into the next chapter of her career with Pulse Netball, Lil's here to talk all things growing up playing sport, training and discipline, her journey to the big stage, and becoming the best version of herself along the way. So Lil, a big warm welcome. I'm so excited to have you on the pod.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here.
It's been a long time coming. We've spoken about it for a little bit, so very excited. But I thought before we get into it, 5 quick questions, allow our listeners to kind of get to know you a bit. So to start off, number 1, Lil, what's your coffee order?
Small cap.
Okay,
Yep, very
simple
basic.
Girl. Number 2, pre-game hype song that you can't live without.
Oh, it'd have to be Fred again.
I knew that was coming.
So tragic, classic white girl. But
Is there a favourite?
I'd probably say Pull Me Out of This. Yeah, classic.
For those that don't know Lil, that's her go-to song. It'll get her on the dance floor any day. Number 3, who's your sporting role model, past or present?
Oh, this is a good one. I'd probably say it'd have to be Paige Hadley, only because I'm really good friends with her and she's just such a good human, but also so driven in netball, and I think she's like unreal at everything she does. So I'd probably say her.
Yeah. Love that. Number 4, best way to switch off and relax after training or a game?
Beach, or going for like a walk with friends or family. I also do love a bit of Netflix, and my mum thinks I'm so lazy, but
who doesn't? I love those answers. And last one, favorite holiday destination during the off season?
Bali. Class. No, I'm going back to Bali. It's been too many times, so I'm trying to think of a new holiday, but yeah, I'm going to Bali again this year.
Unreal. Okay, so we'll get into it now, Lil. To give listeners an insight into who you are, a bit of background, tell us about yourself. Who is Lili Gorman-Brown? Growing up, passions, hobbies?
I think I would obviously say I'm very sporty all round. Growing up, I probably did every sport under the sun, and eventually I had to choose. I actually started playing hockey when I was about maybe 9. Played that for a bit, and then eventually they got me over to netball. I did little athletics probably all the way through from like 6 to 18, touch footy, OzTag obviously with you guys. But yeah, I think I did a bit of everything, surf club. Yeah, I loved sport. That was my main thing. Would do anything to get out of school to play sport.
Any day off.
Any day off I could take, I was 100% taking it. But yeah, look, I love sport in general. I guess I just love the beach. After I play sport or train hard, I feel like I love just chilling at the beach, going for walks. Simple girl, very simple girl. But yeah, sport brings me a lot of joy. So yeah.
For those that don't know, Lil and I, we grew up together. We've been friends for probably like 12 years, I think. We met playing OzTag together. Her mum was our coach for Cronulla for State Cup. Yeah. And then we went on to obviously play rep netball together as well. But growing up, Lil was just the sportiest person you've ever met. Like she rattled off her sports then. That's how I remember Lil growing up. She was at every sporting carnival, like just probably winning everything as well. Like you were just everywhere. But I wanted to touch on, in particular, netball. Yeah. What first sparked your love for the game?
I think my spark started probably when I started playing. I think I was 9. Just the friends that I played with some of my friends like Ricky, and just super fun, enjoyed it, had a really nice coach at the time. Didn't always have like the success, didn't always make teams, but I think I worked hard, and I just loved probably the friendships that I was able to make through netball from a young age.
That's been a huge part, I think, probably all the way through your career as well, but back then, like all of our closest friends now are from sport.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Particularly netball, we were all either teammates or opposition.
Yeah.
But we all ended up being so close now.
Yeah, agreed.
So special.
So nice.
So, Lil, you played all of your junior reps with Southern Shire Netball Association before going on to represent both New South Wales and Australia.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that over the years. What has training looked like for you?
Training, I guess, so I didn't make under 12. So I missed out under 12s, and I think I did the development squad. And then after that, I was fortunate to then get into the team playing 13s, 14s, 15s with Sutherland. And we're lucky enough, I think we went from third, second to first in under 15s, which was super cool. And then, I think then I just moved into the pathway, moved up to Netball New South Wales, and that's when training became really busy. So I would be training probably 5 days a week at the Institute of Sport when I got identified in the under 17 Australian team. But actually that's a funny story because I wasn't even originally in that under 17s team. I was just a reserve, and then someone unfortunately got injured, but it gave me the opportunity to go and play in that tournament. And then I was lucky enough to then get selected in the Australian team. So that was pretty cool. And then from there, I was in the Institute of Sport. Mum used to hate me because she would be driving back and forth because she used to work at Homebush. So that's where I'd be training 5 days a week.
Shout out to Kath. That's a good effort.
Such an effort. When I didn't have my license, goodness me. So she would have to go to Homebush, back to get me after school, and then get me back out there to go to training. Those days were pretty full on. But so I would say probably training 5 days. Went through the Netball New South Wales pathway, and then that was pretty much my junior journey. But wasn't always in teams, had to work pretty hard, and I'd try and do my extra runs and to be fit and fast on the court to have a point of difference, I guess. So it was hard work for me, but it was worth it.
Yeah, absolutely worth it. So on that, what tips would you give to young athletes or young women about discipline and hard work at that time?
I feel like everyone's different, and my biggest thing is to not compare to other people. I think you look at some people's journeys and they're straight through the ranks and they're straight to the top, really fast without setbacks. But for me, I feel like I was a natural athlete, but with netball, it probably didn't come naturally to me. I had to work really hard. I had obviously endurance and speed was my strength, but it was hard for me some of the skill stuff was a challenge for me. So working on being a smarter netballer was what I had to work towards. So I had to do extras on the side to get better and to be able to play at that top level.
Yeah. And at the age of 17 or 18, Lil, you made your Opens debut in the Australian Netball League for the New South Wales Waratahs. Is that right?
Yes, yeah.
So you were a student in year 12.
So
How
hard.
did you balance the extensive study and training commitments? I think there was travel involved.
It was very full on. I used to do, I think it was year 11 that I got selected for, so it's reserves for professional league. And I think I was maybe 17. Yeah. And it was full on because I was obviously trying to study to, do the academic side of things. Wasn't my strength at the time, but I was so focused on my netball and I just loved netball. So I was like, I'm just going to be a professional netballer. Mum's like, well, you still need to study. And I was like, yeah, I know, true. So I was away pretty much every weekend from year 11 and 12. So don't get me wrong, I had a lot of FOMO. I'd miss out on social things, and I had to get used to that because obviously my dream was to be a professional netballer. So, I had to miss out on lots of 18th birthdays, and that was hard. You felt a bit left out with that sort of thing. But when I was at training, I just felt like that was my place, and I just felt so at home, and it was awesome. But balancing everything was very tricky. So I was trying to balance my friends, schoolwork, and traveling every weekend, trying to get assignments done. It was hard work, but I did manage most of the time to do it all. But it was hard.
Oh my God, I bet. I can't even imagine. So you actually touched on my next question, which was the sacrifices that, you kind of make when you're pursuing a dream, especially at that professional level. Talk me through how you kind of navigated those sacrifices and keeping that balance.
I think you can't have FOMO. And I think the thing that I had to learn is that my friends weren't going anywhere. For me, I feel like you guys, like all you girls are so supportive of my dream, and I feel like I've never felt like you guys were like, well, why aren't you at my birthday thing if I've got a netball game that I have to be at? Like you're always so supportive, and I feel like having the right people around you is super important for you to be successful as well.
Yeah.
So,
people that kind of support your dream.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
So those sacrifices, Lil, obviously became very worth it in 2022 when you made your debut for the New South Wales Swifts.
Yeah.
Tell me about that moment, you know, getting the call up, running onto the court for the first time. Talk me through all the emotions.
Oh, crazy times. I feel like I was just like this young kid that just like, obviously it was a dream, but I don't even remember when I debuted because it was so surreal. Like I feel like after just all the emotions, everyone's like, oh my God, this is so exciting. Like the support you get from everyone was unreal. I think I had some of my friends there, and then I had family. It was super last minute, so I couldn't even like tell people to like come to the game. It was, I actually think the reason why I got a call up for to debut was someone got COVID because it was in COVID.
Yeah, of course.
So it gave me an opportunity, which was amazing. But yeah, it was super crazy. I think for me though, once I debuted, it gave me more of a drive to be like, oh my God, this is what I want to do. Like I don't want this to be that I've debuted and that's it. Like I wanted more from it, and I think that was what I knew. What I was doing was what I need to do. Yeah. So I feel like it was just the right thing.
You felt like you were exactly where you were meant to be.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
so
gives
cool.
me goosebumps talking about it. So, Lil, you were also part of the 2024 grand final team with the Swifts before landing your first full-time contract with the Swifts in 2024.
Yeah.
How special was it to kind of receive that news?
Super crazy. I feel like, so I was still a reserve for Swifts. So people that don't know netball, professional teams have 10 players and 4 reserves, and there's only 8 teams. So 80 contracted girls and 4 reserves in each team. So not many girls get to play professional netball in Australia. And I had been a reserve again the year that I got to play in that grand final actually. So I was in the reserve squad and I got pulled in. Unfortunately, one of the girls got injured, a really good friend of mine, Ali, and then I ended up getting to be her replacement player, and it was awesome because she was super supportive of me, and obviously sad for her, but it opened a door for me to get exposure. And yeah, I feel like I got to play 9 rounds that season, and every game we actually won. It was incredible. Huge. I was like on a high the whole time. We got to semi-finals. We were in extra time, and I still remember this moment. It freaks me out. Bryony was like, oh, you know, Paige is coming off, you're going on, Lil. And this was like extra time. I was like, I'm a training partner. Like, what is happening right now? So yeah, I ended up going on in extra time. It was full on like crazy times. And yeah, we ended up getting through to the grand final. And then we actually, in our grand final, went to extra time as well. Got to play on the court, which was crazy.
I remember watching it and feeling sick in my stomach.
It was insane. The atmosphere, it was something I've never experienced before.
It would have been like euphoric.
It was crazy. And then we actually lost by 1. And I remember being like, damn, I was going to get a tattoo if we won. Like, I was so excited.
Where would you have got the tat?
I don't know. Forehead? I was going to get like the Swift's little bird. But yeah, anyway, it was a whirlwind. But yeah, then I obviously got a contract after that, which was insane. But yeah, super crazy times.
Oh my God, Leo, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Just the fact that knowing where obviously you started and all the hard work that went into it to get to that moment and to experience things like that, it honestly couldn't happen to a better person. So tell me, what was the experience, or what has the experience been like playing at that level with some of the top players? Like, was there a particular pinch me moment that you had?
I feel like just playing at that level is so different. It is something that's a step up. Like I remember in my first contracted year, and before that I was obviously just like injecting from the bench because, you know, I was sitting behind 2 Australian players. And so I'd come off the bench and try and just like inject something different and like use my skills and my speed. But yeah, it was crazy. It's insane. But playing with, you know, Australian players and like Helen Housby, you know, like incredible netballers. Every day I was like, oh my God, is this actually happening? But yeah, I feel like it took me a little bit to be like, I deserve to kind of be here as well. So yeah, it's super cool. And, you know, don't get me wrong, with professional sport comes so many lows as well as highs. And obviously put a lot of pressure on myself to perform, knowing I only had the 1 year contract being a rookie. So yeah, I mean, and then after that, obviously we could go into that, but yeah, I mean, tough times for me. Like, it was my dream, and then because I only had 1 year and a few things happened in our club that season. Unfortunately, I ended up having to, you know, lose my spot in that team. And yes, it gives me chills still to this day. But yeah, very hard for me when it's a dream that you've had for your whole life to be like, you know, what do I do now? Where do I go with my life now? And it still makes me a little bit teary thinking about it because, just hearing that phone call was super hard for me. But yeah, you know, we get through it and we grind through. But yeah, obviously lots of highs, but there's a lot of lows that come with it.
Exactly, and that's professional sport for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So talk me through, Lil. So that setback, obviously losing your position that following year.
Yeah.
How did you deal with that in particular?
It was actually very interesting. I found out quite late that I had lost my contract, and I was panicking because I was like, well, this can't be it. Like, I just felt like I hadn't finished, you know, like I hadn't finished being at that top level. I'd had a taste, but I hadn't had the opportunity to kind of thrive there yet. I felt like it was a year of learning and a lot of, you know, we had lots of different things happening in the club that season, and, you know, I had to be resilient and bounce back all the time. But yeah, I think I've learnt a lot from it, and, you know, it took a lot of people to get me out of the dark times I was in after it. But yeah, I had such supportive people. I have supportive friends, family, and I feel like they just put it in perspective for me. So I feel like I had a holiday to look forward to. But yeah, it was hard because the signings of clubs had already kind of been done in other clubs, and I was pretty open to going anywhere. New Zealand had signed already, England had signed already. So I actually went to Europe for about 7 weeks, and it was refreshing for me. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I was like, what am I doing? Like, what am I coming home to? I'm a teacher. So I was like, am I going to have to ring school and be like, well, can I try and work full time, or am I still going to try and give netball a crack, whether that being a reserve again and taking a step back into the reserve spot? So yeah, that was hard. I ended up taking a reserve at Swifts, and very, very challenging times. Going from, I think, being in the team to now being back to where I started was hard for me to get my head around a bit. But I had to look at it as in, if I want another chance, I'm going to take an opportunity to see where this takes me again, and just give it one more crack to know that I've done everything and not have a sour taste with netball. So I felt like giving myself that opportunity allowed me to, you know, play reserves, work on my stuff and work on things that I probably didn't do at Swifts necessarily. Be a cat, like I got to lead the team. It was awesome. So yeah, I feel like challenging myself in a different way.
Yeah.
But,
I
really
think
exciting.
That's so admirable, Lil.
Oh,
like the fact that you took that step back, but the resilience that would have taken to do so, and then to show up anyway and to keep working towards your dream day in, day out, and you know, be the captain and lead from the front and pick up the girls around you, even though, you know, you had a taste for that level above. Like, it's so admirable. So I'm so proud of you. But even at that elite level, Lil, how do you ensure that you personally keep developing and learning both as a person and a player?
Yeah, I think I've actually learned a lot about myself. I think from being in a high performance environment, because I only had the year, I was like, I'm doing everything 100%. Like, netball's life. Like, I'm not going out. I'm not going to do, you know, certain things. And to the point where I've probably reflected on it being like, I would, on my days off, and don't get me wrong, I think elite athletes need to do this, is like analyze your training sessions, analyze things and your games and what you can do better, ask questions. And I think the only thing I've reflected on and know that I can now do better is not reflect too much to the point where you start questioning things. I think for me, it's like, yeah, okay, I did really good at this. I haven't done so good at this. I need to work on that now, and get help with that, but don't sit there and think too much about things. I feel like I play my best netball when I'm relaxed and I'm free and, I'm not overthinking. So I feel like after being in a high performance environment, I've definitely learnt that about myself and know now not to over analyze, to analyze myself and fix things, but yet to not do it too much in depth that I start doubting myself and my ability. Yeah.
Absolutely. So Lil,
Yes.
big news now.
Yeah.
You've recently signed with Pulse Netball
Yes.
for next season's ANZ Premiership in New Zealand, which is a huge achievement.
Yeah.
And I'm just in awe of you. What influenced that decision to move overseas, away from family, partner, but to, again, pursue a dream?
I think, I don't know. I actually kind of like, because their contracting period's a little bit later than Australia, and I'd kind of been like, you know what? I've had a good reserves campaign. I've done everything I can to put myself in the best foot forward to, get selected for either England, New Zealand, Australia, wherever it was. And it was actually funny. I got a text from my manager. I was at work teaching, and she goes, "Hey, can you have a Zoom call with the Pulse? They want to have a chat this afternoon." And I kind of just went in like open-minded, not thinking like too much about like getting an opportunity. I was just like, okay, we'll see how this goes. I think from all my setbacks, I'd started to be like, I'm not used to getting success at the moment. So I was like, oh, whatever, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, and I started having this call with them, and from the get-go, I just got really, really good vibes. They were very like, they'd done research. Like they were like, we've watched all your Swifts games. You've got what we want for our, mid-court role. And yeah, they're like, we see that there's a lot of potential that we can still develop. And just they seem so chill. Like everything about them was like chill. We're people first. We're, which is similar to here in Australia. But yeah, they just seem so supportive of me and other things I want to do when I get over there, like whether I want to still, coach or teach. And I think it seems like a very holistic club, and it just seems like an awesome club. And I've heard really good things from this club. So very, very excited for something new. I think it was time for something new for me. So a change and a challenge. And don't get me wrong, I'm super nervous to leave. And obviously my partner won't be coming with me, and that's sad for me. I'm obsessed, but but yeah. So we'll make it work though. So friends, family, it's all hard, but I've had a lot of people say they're going to come over. So
yeah, you've got the support from everyone.
Yeah,
though.
Very excited for that.
So exciting, Lil.
Yeah.
So what, on the topic of excitement, what excites you the most about that next chapter?
I think probably getting some game time. I think getting game time, meeting new people, learning a bit of a different style. I think New Zealand play slightly different to Australian netball. And I think it will help me a lot with my game personally. So, super excited about that. I mean, it's going to be a challenge. I'm living out of home for the first time and in a new country. Everyone's concerned about my cooking skills on my own, but that's, we'll make it work.
Might burn the house down.
But, I'm very excited. It's definitely going to be a challenge for me, but I think I'm up for it at the moment. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, Lil, in my opinion, through this whole process, through your whole career, you've remained so true to yourself. Who or what has inspired you to kind of keep pushing to be the best version of yourself?
I would say, look, my mum, if I didn't say this, like mum is sometimes my hardest critic, but she also is the one that knows me best. And I feel like whenever, I need that softness, I can get it from her. And she is tough, don't get me wrong, but she shows it in a way that I feel so supported at the same time. And yeah, having now Justin come along, like he's been amazing to me. I feel like I've really sometimes struggled, especially with losing my Swifts contract originally. I struggled with a bit of my identity, and I think that was really hard because I've been known, especially around the Shire, probably as Lili the Netballer. Lili the Netballer. And I'm always like, I said to Justin one day, I was like, oh my God, everyone just asked me about netball. And like, when netball is great, don't get me wrong, I want to answer those questions. But when it was not, it was always really hard for me. I was like, well, do I tell them the honest truth? Or like sometimes if I wasn't feeling like, I'd just like, yeah, it's good, because I couldn't be bothered diving too deep into it. But yeah, I think he was the one that actually, Justin probably got me out of it and said to me, well, no one in your close circle of friends thinks of you as Lily the netballer. Like they think of you as a good friend, you're a teacher, you're now a business owner, but all different things to me as a person instead of just a netballer. But for me, that was hard because netball has been a big part of my identity for a very long time. So yeah, I had to do a little bit of adjusting to that and realizing that people were asking me that in the best intentions of wanting to see how I'm going and know that I do love netball. So yeah, that's just a question that comes out when they're trying to be kind and friendly.
Yeah,
but to me, when it was hard times, it was a hard question to answer.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. Well, on the topic of being a business owner, Lil.
Yes.
You've now started your own business, PlayFit Coaching. You've got your shirt on at the moment. Tell us a bit about that. So what is it? What do you offer?
So I actually started this after I'd lost my contract, but I thought, you know what, I want to use my skills, and I've obviously been a teacher in background. I've always loved coaching. I guess I started the business to probably help young girls. I know netball can be tough, and I know that, girls are dropping out of sport, particularly I know in netball, quite early nowadays, and no one's hanging in there that long. The money's obviously not great. So I think trying to make young girls feel confident in my training environment in particular, feel not afraid to ask me questions if they don't understand. Or I think the main thing is I want them to walk away from my training sessions being like, oh my God, that was so much fun. I've learned something new, but I had a ball while I was doing it. I think that's the main things I want out of my sessions. And yeah, I've got a mix of abilities that come to me and different ages, and I love working with all of them. So I think it's super special, and I feel like the little family I've created so far is really exciting.
Yeah. So you offer one-on-one sessions, holiday clinics, anything else?
So I do one-on-ones, group sessions, and then holiday clinics, and I can go into schools. I haven't really tapped too much into that yet, but I probably will expand on doing that when I probably get back from New Zealand. But yeah, I love all of it. It's all different, but I love, any bit of it, and honestly, it's super exciting.
The best job for you. Yeah. I look at you obviously having a teacher background yourself, but you're just so good with young girls, and you're the best kind of role model for them as well. So I think it's just the perfect environment for you. So Lil, before we wrap up, how do you think the years of sport have kind of shaped you as a person?
I would say I've had to learn to be resilient. I think that is a big strength of mine. Not everything's always gone my way. I've, had to bounce back, and I think that's now I'm going to take that with me in life, and hopefully one day when I have kids that I can teach them that not everything's smooth sailing, and that the resilience part of it is super important, and to be able to get back up and make yourself proud is the most important thing. So I think, resilience has been a big part. I think just, staying true to myself and not trying to be someone that I'm not. And I think I just want to be my natural self all the time. And, if someone doesn't like that, then that's how it is. But I think sometimes I get that I'm too nice, but when I'm at netball, but that's okay. It's just a part of who I am, and I've had to adjust to that as well. And but I think just resilience is probably what I'd say mostly. Yeah.
And reflecting on everything, having achieved what you have achieved, what would you tell your younger self?
I think not to, it's a hard one. I think to not compare yourself to others. I think I really find that really important because, everyone's journey is different. Everyone's got different paths and I think different strengths, and they don't all click at the same time. So I think definitely that that would probably be my answer to that one.
And if you could leave one piece of advice for anyone chasing a dream, particularly in sport, what would it be?
I think enjoy it. I think find a way to enjoy it, whether that's, after you train that you go to the beach and you swim and you enjoy yourself in other ways. And I think, personally, mine is that I need to be balanced in life. And, I still need to go out because I love going out. That's just a part of who I am. I'm social and, so find what works for you. I think if you're a social person, still make sure that you're doing that. Have just balance or whatever works for you. Everyone's different, but yeah, I think for a younger girl, I'd say just be happy and try and find the joy in stuff. Yeah.
Don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
So, Lil, it's now time for our Rise and Bloom segment where you get to set a little challenge for our We Are Sage community. It could be a daily habit or a wellness practice, but something that you think will enhance their life in some way. So that said, what is your challenge to our community?
I was thinking about this when I was driving actually, and something that I personally love is whether it's, you know, a family member or a friend, someone that you just love, right? So sometimes I get messages from people in the morning and it'll be like, morning, Lil, have a great day. It's a good day. You know, like simple messages like that. I think if you could do a challenge to yourself, maybe you could send someone that you love a message. It doesn't have to be the same person each day. Maybe mix it up, but send them a message. I know that in the mornings when I get a message like that, it just makes me smile and I feel like it's a good start to the day.
It's a great
so
start
simple,
to the day.
but something nice.
Oh, yeah. I love that, Lil. Love it. So before I let you go, we've got our Love Heart canvas here. So I'm not sure if you know much about it, but every guest that we have on the podcast, we get them to kind of sign off and leave their mark with a hand-drawn love heart.
Cool.
Hopefully we can watch it grow over time and it'll be a bit of a reflection of all the women that have, you know, left their mark on our brand. So what we'll do is get you to sign the canvas.
Yeah.
So as big or as small as you like.
I'll do my signature first.
Love it.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
Very cool.
Oh, we'll show the people watching. Perfect, Lil. Love it. Well, Lil, thank you so much for coming on today. I know we've spoken about it for a little bit, but I'm seriously so proud of you and everything that you have and continue to achieve. And I'm so excited to see where this next chapter takes you. I'm so excited to come over to New Zealand and visit as well. But yeah, love everything that you're all about, the business, just you're one of those friends that have just stayed so true to themselves throughout their whole career, throughout my whole life knowing you. You've never changed. You've always been such an honest, like down-to-earth person. And I think you're the perfect role model for young girls. So that's why I was so insistent on having you on the podcast. So
thanks, Jules.
Thanks for coming on, Lil.
I've loved it. So much fun.
Well, if people want to connect with you on socials, kind of follow your journey, check out the business, where exactly can they find you?
So Instagram is just Lili Gorman-Brown. And then my PlayFit one is PlayFit Coaching. We do need some followers, so get following.
Get on over.
But yeah, it's still a little community, but we're growing, so it's nice.
Beautiful. Well, we'll get our followers to get on there and check you out. But to our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment or share it with somebody that you love. Make sure to follow us at weare.sage on all socials and let us know your favourite part of today's episode. And lastly, to every girl that's ever felt like too much, not enough or completely lost, this space is for you and we hope you take some inspiration away from today's episode. Good luck with your challenge. I know that I'll be doing it as well. I think it's a great one and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys.